So I'm going to start us off by talking a little bit about this wonderful couple. We're so thankful that everybody is here, as we said earlier. And, as you're probably aware, we have 3 sons. Drew is our middle son. And what was that, Bess? Oh, well, he is the first to get married, so we're excited about that. But I will tell you that, Drew and Marina, it's a wonderful time, and the two of you could be blessed by God with many children in the future. You could actually be blessed with what's called a strong-willed child. And in fact, I can tell you a little bit about a particular... Has everybody met my father? I could tell you about a particular strong-willed child, and I'll tell you how strong-willed. Can you imagine being parents of a toddler, and then you have this 13-month-old child who all of a sudden starts, when he doesn't get his way, not only screams, but holds his breath to the point he passes out, goes limp in your arms. Turns blue, passes out, goes limp in your arms. Of course, you would then take that child to the doctor and say, "Doctor, what in the world is happening with our child? It's our second child. We don't know what's going on. Please help us." And the doctor just looks at us and says, "Oh, you have a strong-willed child." I'm like, well, what are we supposed to do? Well, he'll wake up. He'll hold his breath. It's not that big. You can also just blow in his face. But it was one of those things that was like, that is a strong-willed child. So that strong-willed child then got a little bit older, had a hard time tying shoes because it slowed him down. So it was a great invention to have Velcro shoes, and that lasted for, we'll just say, quite a long time. But Drew was always a high adventure guy, loves adventure, loves excitement, loves people. We actually Maria and I had a little nickname for Drew, and it was Cyclone, or a hurricane. So we've got a few pilots in the room. There might be some weather folks here, and you know that a hurricane or a cyclone is a big low-pressure cell. And what does a low-pressure cell do? It sucks everything else around it into it if it's going crazy. So that was a little bit of Drew as a cyclone. And that was, but it was really his love for adventure that was what he was all wrapped up into, and people as well. So as he grew older, he was involved with a lot of different things. He played sports. He had developed this taste for culinary. So he was in a culinary class in high school and did really well. We fast forward, and the cyclone heads off to college. And he meets a lot of the guys that are here, and they become fast friends. But the big turning point, I would say, that happened with Drew is when he headed off west and went out to Southern California. And in fact, that's really when he started to, we'll just say, slow the cyclone down and made a big change in his life. Such a change that he became the guy that liked to take walks on the beach, take a bike ride going nowhere, and just kind of hang out. And there was this nice unraveling of what was a cyclone before to someone who was really peaceful about life. He develops really good friends. One of the qualities that we all know about Drew is that he's a really good listener and really cares about what's on someone's heart. So one of the things that I know Marina really loves about Drew is how he encourages her, how he does know what's on her heart, and he fights for her to share her heart. So I would just say, Marina, we are honored and very blessed to have you as a daughter. And we look forward to be able to have you call us Mom and Dad, and just to continue to have our families grow closer and closer together. So I'd ask if everybody would raise their glass, and we toast to Drew and Marina and a long and fruitful life. Here, here. Here. A salute.
I'm not really sure how I'm supposed to follow that up. He must have taken half of my speech as well, so this one's going to be a little bit short. As Drew knows, this is a big deal for me. I'm not really good at public speaking. Last time I did, I passed out and an ambulance was called. So thank you, Dan, for speaking tomorrow night in front of the bigger crowd, because no one wants to see that. But no, just Drew, Marina, we all love you. That's why we're here. Thank you guys so much for inviting us. Thank you to the Marolis and the Carlisles for putting all this together. You guys are awesome. So when I think of Drew, I just think of raw emotion, just a real person, and he's pulled that out in me, and I'm grateful to have that as a friendship. And a lot of the guys at this table right here, we met at the bachelor party, and they're going to be lifelong friends because of that guy right there, and that's what he does. And I just want to thank him for that. And I've known Drew. First of all, my name's Tyler. I've known Drew since let's see. I've known Drew since elementary school, and it's been an honor to know him. And thank you, first of all, for letting me be by your side on your wedding day. Thank you so much, man. And also, thank you to Marina for finally teaching him how to dress, because he used to wear gym shorts and golf polos every day, which, come on now. No, just, no, I love the love that they have for each other. I saw it today at the rehearsal when they were just reciting, practicing, and stuff like that, and they were both tearing up, and just, it warms my heart so much to see them together and happy finally, and they're not having to, fly across the country to see each other or anything like that, and they get to start a family of their own here in Atlanta. And a little selfishly, I'm happy he's back in Atlanta, so I get to see him every day. That's really nice. So I'm rambling now, so I'm gonna pass the mic to Vince. Here's to Drew and Marina.
All right, so I'm the youngest Maroli, as probably everybody knows here. And one of the really interesting things about, I think, Marolis and Drew specifically is intentionality. Throughout the Maroli family, Grampy, there he is, would always throw these huge clam bakes in the fall. Have all the uncles, the nephews, the cousins, everybody come together. And it was a really great experience because you got to meet people that you never met except for that event. And that same intentionality, I think, is really shared throughout our family, but especially with Drew in, as we've heard, the relationship building. Speaking of family, it is kind of funny. In the Maroli household, we have this running joke. We all look pretty similar. We say we're the same model, just different release dates. And so, Daniel and I, we hail more from the Fenolio side with pale skin. Kind of looks like you put us out in the winter and we froze a little bit. Drew, on the other hand, you got the nice Maroli glow. Good for you, sir. Good for you. How you doing? Yeah. Daniel and I, we don't have the glow, but we can eat gluten. So, how you doing? Bread and olive oil. That's all we need. Yeah. So speaking of family and intentionality, the cool thing, the connection between Drew and Grampy that I really wanted to highlight is that they both know what it means to move to a brand new city with basically nothing in their pockets, but hard work and a determination to be great. And you both did that. This family is proof. And the family that you will create is proof of that. So I just want to say, as a younger brother, thanks for modeling that, man. Thanks for showing us what hard work looks like. Grampy, thanks for being the patriarch that we look to for examples. So yeah, Thanks for this wonderful opportunity. Love you guys, and cheers to Drewski.
All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Sophia. I am Marina's oldest cousin. I'm Nubia's daughter, and I'm just so happy to be here tonight. Marina, I've never known life without you. As your big cousin, it has always been just such a blessing to just watch you grow in beauty, elegance, grace, and love. And, I really think of our grandmother, our Mimi. She's over there in the back, Marina. And, when we think of family and weddings and what that means, it's building your life together. It's putting down roots. And I think of how our beautiful Mimi and Lito, you both came to this country and you put down roots in a foreign land. And look at all the people who are here because of you and because of that love. And when I think of you, Marina and Drew, and the roots you will both put down, being together, I think it's just such a testament to your love. And the fact that we're all here tonight celebrating you both, it's something really beautiful and incredibly special. And I just love you so much, Marinita. You really are like my other little sister. We always have a joke, my sister and I, that Marina is our third sister. She's our cousin sister. Because we don't know what life is like without our Marinita. And you've always been there for me, for all of us. And I really just think that you are such a beautiful person. You are going to be a wonderful wife and mother. And Drew, we love you so much. We love your big heart and how much you care for Marina. Because she's like my sister, and I love watching someone who I love be loved as she should. And you are such a witness to that, and the love that your family has, and their legacy, and how you both are now going to grow together as husband and wife and start in a new chapter, selfishly as well. I'm excited that you live a mile away from me. So now we don't have to FaceTime, and we can run in the park and just continue to watch you both grow in your love together. I also want to read a quick speech from my sister, Julia. She can't be here tonight, but she was really sweet, and she wanted to make sure that I read something, so I'm going to do that really quickly. So this is from my sister, Julia. My sweet Marina, I'm so overjoyed for your beautiful marriage. I'm sorry to be missing this special night, but know that I am thinking of you and praying for a wonderful time surrounded by loved ones. You have been like a sister to me, and I can't believe you're getting married tomorrow. Since we were little, I've always been so protective of you and always wanted the absolute best for you. You truly deserve someone who loves you just as much as your beautiful family does. It makes me so happy that you found someone who sees just how incredible and amazing you are. There's always been something special between you and Drew. From being your third wheel in Athens to both of you starting your new life in Atlanta, I can honestly say that you found your best friend. He loves you so deeply, and it is evident that he will continue loving you just as much with every passing year. I have been praying for the both of you and can't wait to see how amazing you will be as Mr. and Mrs. Maroli. God has big plans for your marriage, and the best is yet to come. I love you both so much and can't wait to stand beside you tomorrow as you marry the man of your dreams. Cheers to the future Mr. and Mrs. Andrew Maroli. All right, and anyone who wants to go up next.
Who wants to follow you?
I've known Drew since freshman year at college, and Marina sometime during all of that as well. So I've had the privilege of being Drew's friend for a while. I count him as one of my very good friends. He stood up in my wedding as well. Catherine and I are both very happy for the both of you. You guys bring a lot to each other's lives, and that's evident the way you guys treat each other and the love you guys show for each other. Speaking about Drew, he's a very loyal friend, very loyal man. That speaks to his family and his upbringing, and I think we have a lot in common in that respect. Come from a similar background. And so we've always shared that, and you've always had quality friends, and I've always admired that about you, Drew. Marina, you're just as sweet and as kind as Drew. Even more so, yes. But I'm excited for the both of you. Catherine and I are both excited to be a part of your first year of marriage and witness that with you guys. And so I'll keep it short and sweet. Salud. Per Antoine.
Good evening. Alex to the rescue. I met Drew Maroli in freshman year at college, unfortunately. But once again, thank you for allowing me to be here today. Number one, but more so giving a speech. I think the first switcheroo Drew pulled on me was convincing me to move out of California and then going back to Atlanta. So good work on that one. You got me. But I ain't leaving, so I'll tell you that. But I think, as Drew came out here and, we were good friends beforehand, he came out, I'd always had desires to get out of Atlanta and venture on and get out of that complacent zone. And Drew was one of those, top inspiring friends to really push you forward. And you don't really have many of those friends in life that are continuously up your butt about getting better and getting better and getting better. So, that's where you really don't take those friends for granted and you keep them by your side forever. So it was a real heartbreak, him and Marina moving back to Georgia, but I know it's all for the best. I think the main point here is I see you guys, and I tell you this to your face, I have a lot of friends that are getting married that I don't agree with. But I love y'all's marriage. I love it. I wish you guys nothing but success. I love you both. And I think what you guys have instilled in me in the past couple of years in California has been tremendous. And, I look forward to seeing your guys' future. So cheers to nothing but a happy and successful marriage.
Hello, everybody. We've heard from fathers and college friends. People have known Drew and Marina since they were children. I am Brian Kelly. I am related to Drew, cousins, and I'll just be short and brief, give a couple touchstones, memories of them from the West Coast. So I went to school in California, and I was able to meet them. And just two memories pop out to me. Number one was Drew telling me about Marina, how she was coming out, and the one thing he said, he's like, you're going to want to meet her. And let me tell you, the Marolis are a family of salespeople. They can sell you anything. But the important thing here, this guy didn't need to sell it. I could look him in his eyes, and I could see it's true. And it's even better when he came up just this past year and visited campus, visited college for me, and him and Marina both. And right before Marina arrived, he pulled me aside and he said, I'm going to propose to her. And if it was 99% of other people, I think you could look him in the eyes and be like, are you okay? You're crazy right now. You're crazy in love. But having met Marina, she is just as powerful and beautiful as Drew, and the couple is just tremendous. So it's never a doubt in my mind that they're going to be a magnificent team and duo in the future. And I think we're all witness to some true love here. So take it from a 22-year-old with very minimal experience in that area. But if nothing else, you're teaching me a great lesson. So here's to Drew and Marina.
Pleasure of attending the University of Georgia Go Dogs with Drew and Marina, and Marina and I really became friends senior year, which is kind of surprising because everyone is trying to leave and go conquer the world in their own spheres of influence. But we decided that we wanted to have bagels every Friday morning, and a lot of that conversation looked like life conversation and talking about Jesus and Drew. Because as much as she tried, Drew, it has only ever been you for her. And we were able to share stories this morning at the bridal luncheon that was beautiful. I feel like I have a lot that I could say, and I will skip past some of the whirlwind romance love story things like Brazil and him, coming with flowers and a letter and wooing her from her office in Atlanta. I can only imagine what that lunch break looked like. And I'll skip to California because Marina is one of the hardest working women I have ever met in my life. And her company gave her an opportunity to move to California to open the West Coast office. And she got to California and she called me, and I don't know if you remember this, but you said, she calls me Tay-Tay, and so do many of the little people in my life. But she said, Tay-Tay, my heart rate has changed. I don't have my anxiety. I am here, and I get to go on walks on the beach, and my Drewski is here. And as a friend, that phone call is like what you dream of for the people that you really care about. And I was living in DC at the time, and that was really refreshing because that is what Marina is. She is a breath of fresh air to all of us, and she would intentionally FaceTime me from the beach so that my heart rate could change, being on the East Coast. And I just feel so loved by that. And I think as much as you are a breath of fresh air for others, I think Drew is that for you. And he is also steadfast and consistent for you. And I think as you would be out watching, the tide come in and out, that is such a characteristic of God, steadfast and consistent. And what characteristics to have in the man that you're marrying and who loves you. So I'm so grateful for you, Drew. And I'm so grateful that we're here. And I'll share one more quick story that she approved. But I was asking her, how did the move go from the West Coast to Atlanta? Because we're all from here. And she said, something I love about my Drewski is that he slows me down. And I'll explain. For their last day in California, it was hard for them to leave. And he told her, we will leave on our own time. We will go to every special place that has ever meant something to us, and we will pray, and we will cry, and we will fully walk this out, and we'll get in the car, and we'll drive until we get tired. And the way that blessed her, that actually helped me with my recent move because I took the day. And they got to Atlanta, and they had never been to the apartment that they are going to move into, and they got to the door, and again, Drew slowed her, and he held her hand, and he prayed for them to walk into their new home. And they walked in, and they still cried. There were still tears, but he took her to the balcony, and he slow danced with her until they felt better. And so as I just wish things for you and pray blessings over you, may you remember to slow dance until it feels better. May you remember to be steadfast and consistent for one another. And may you have just many children, and I bless the generations and generations to come from you because it is quite a duo, the two of you. So we love you. Cheers to the Marolis. To many children.
My name is Robert Miranda, and I'm friends with Drew, but actually originally with Dave. And I like to say that our families are connected in a number of ways. One might call it serendipitous. I would call it divine. I had lunch with Dave probably about 3 years ago at a men's retreat in Colorado, and we started talking about sailing. The conversation quickly pivoted to Daniel, who studied at the same school I studied at IE Business School in Madrid. And then it pivoted to his son, Drew, who lived out in Newport Beach, where I'm from originally. And so I want to talk a little bit about Drew. I also want to talk about Marina. and I'll try to keep my remarks brief. And anyone who says that is a liar. But it was funny listening to Dave describe Drew as a cyclone child, because I experienced Drew in his post-cyclone years. And the man that I know, the man that stands right before me, right here, who's going to say I do tomorrow to his lovely bride-to-be, is a man who is resolute and a man full of confidence and courage, a man who knows what he wants, a man who knows how to lead his family to be, and his wife especially. And it was so great and very touching to hear Taylor describe when you had moved into your apartment, how you took the time to just care for your fiance's heart, and you knew that. And I think it's remarkable the way that you walk with God and the way you walk with Jesus very closely, and how you know who you are and you know whose you are, Drew, and that is going to carry you so far in life. And I'm just so privileged to have spent the past several years getting to know you in Orange County. And Drew and I have had some fun adventures. We've gone to Colorado last year with Drew and Dave. We've sailed. We have, what else have we done? We've golfed. I don't remember if we played tennis or not. A lot of happy hours. Some late nights in the backyard, just enjoying some stoves and some wine. And but you know, Drew, you're just a remarkable man. I'm so honored and privileged to know you and to be friends with you. Marina, in a very serendipitous way, got to work with my stepmom, Sandra Eckhart. They were put on an assignment with a very common client of theirs, a Pedigo company. And our families just got to know each other. We spent some time, I'm into sailing, so we got to spend some time at the Balboa Yacht Club. We got to spend some time over some nice dinners and some good laughs and, some deep heart conversations, because life will throw stuff at you. All of us have our own stories, and good, bad, or indifferent, we got to know each other. And we all got to know each other's stories and see how there is a God who redeems all of us and who loves us and is very dear to us. And so I just want to thank you again for allowing me to be here in Atlanta and enjoy this very special day with you. It's an honor. And I would like to invite everyone else here to just raise your glass and to toast to this wonderful, wonderful couple. Cheers.
My name is Don Maroli. I'm David's dad and Drew's grandfather. I can't tell too many stories about Drew and Marina, although I love Marina, but I can tell a couple about his father and him. Drew, his father's always talking about how Drew's always breaking something. He's always breaking his leg, or he's cutting his finger, or he seems to have a propensity for that. But so does his father. When his father was 5 and 6 and 7 years old, they knew me by my first name at the emergency room at the hospital. He was always breaking something and getting and swallowing things, and they say, "Hi, Don. What's new?" And I said, "Well, here's Dave." So his dad was the same way, and but Drew and I, we have kind of a special relationship. Drew and I were going to go to Italy together, but no one wanted us to go because they thought Drew would lead me astray. He would see the young girls, and I would take their grandmothers. So we would tell people we're going to Lithuania or somewhere, because if we said we were going to Italy, they would all gang up and say, no, not you and Drew, not you and Drew. No. So, but it never worked out. We never went to Lithuania. We never went to Italy. So, but I'm very happy to be here, and with Drew and Marina. I love them both. There's a very special relationship, and Hi, honey. This is my daughter, Julie. And my youngest daughter, I'll let her introduce herself, but I wish your mom was here. So.
Well, hi, I am Drew's Aunt Julie. Now I'm going. So, Nanny passed away in February 2019, but we are really excited to see Nanny in heaven. So, we miss Nanny here, but we'll see her again. So I'm going to lighten the mood a little bit. So, because I am Drew's auntie, I have the privilege of telling stories about him at his wedding, which is what we always threaten, that I'm going to tell this at your wedding. So now I'm just going to take a couple. So I think probably my two favorite memories of Drew. The first is at the clam bake. Drew, you were maybe 4, maybe even 3. So at the clam bake, I guess this was in your cyclone years, but I think it's like the essence of Drew still. So Drew was so happy with all the cousins, and he had a sweet potato in one hand, not a fork full of sweet potato, but just a sweet potato that he would take a bite out of, and then a chicken leg in the other. And he was just full of laughter and joy and smiling and was having such a great time, he fell off his chair. So that's just a precious memory of mine. See you go down, Drew. And then the second, just as precious, Drew, I think you were maybe 16, and we live in Virginia, so Drew came out for a week or so to help us clear the brush from the field, right? It's a good manly thing to do. So it was on one of the last days, and I was in the house, and it's like 103 degrees. They're sweating. It's great time, great cathartic brush clearing. But Drew comes from a family of 3 boys, but I have a couple of girls in the house. But Drew burst through the kitchen door and said, "Aunt Julie, I cut my leg with a chainsaw," and dropped his drawers in the middle of the kitchen. So I was thankful that his leg was still there. And I think that the chainsaw stopped, right, when it maybe caught your jeans. It did rip your jeans. I think probably you have a worse scar from all of the poison ivy that you got that year. But so Drew as well, and a pleasure always to be with you, Drew, and Wet Willies too. So that's good.
Well, we'll cut it off there and let everybody have their desserts. We actually have another event at the Palm if you want to go. Now, some need to pace yourself, okay? Because there's more tonight, and that's for other people that were not going to be here, but you're welcome to attend that. It's at the Palm in Buckhead, and everyone should know about it. But enjoy your time, and thank you once again for everyone being here. Bless you.